Good morning students, this is Mohammad Kashif Iqbal from Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Today we will study about the hair removal product. This topic is also comes under the cosmetic science. Under this topic we will study different learning objectives such as introductions, methods for removing hair, required qualities and characteristics, types of hair removal products, formulations, effects of hair removal products on skin and hair, after depilation, epilation preparations, packaging of hair removal products, evaluation of hair removal products, marketed hair removal products. Hair removal is an increasingly important sector of the cosmetic and personal care industry for both men and women. Both men and women are becoming more concerned about their aesthetic aspect of their appearance. Human beings choose to remove unwanted body hairs for cosmetic, social, cultural or medical reasons. A number of hair removal techniques have been developed over the years, including methods for temporary and permanent hair removal. The availability of the current method and product may be different. Most of them can be used at home. However, there are some that can be used only in professional salons and dermatological offices. Students, now we discuss method for removing hairs. Nowadays, there are a number of hair removal technique and product available. Temporary method provide hairless skin for a shorter 1 to 3 days or a longer time 1 to 3 weeks, depending on the technique and the individual's physiological characteristics. Permanent method, however, can prolong the duration of hair loss up to years. The techniques outlined and shaded refer to those that include the use of cosmetic products. There are two distinct types of temporary hair removal known as depilation and epilation. Students, now we discuss about the first hair removal techniques, that is the depilatory techniques. Under these depilatory techniques, we studied about the different products which remove the unwanted hairs. Depilatory techniques and products remove only part of the hair shaft which protrude above the skin surface. These techniques are generally pain free if there is no skin damage. Depilatory techniques include shaving, trimming, using abrasive, using chemical depletion and bleaching. Next hair removal technique is the permanent hair removal. Under this topic we discuss different techniques such as first one is the laser treatment. Laser treatment stops the active growth of the hair for long periods. Its principle is based on the fact that there is a difference in color between the hair follicle and skin. The light energy absorbed by the dark pigment in the hair follicle, that is melanin, cause damage to the follicle, thereby reducing hair growth. The lighter the skin and the darker the hair, the more selectively the laser will affect the follicle and not the surrounding tissues. A laser instrument produces a powerful focused light beam composed of a constant wavelength. Intensely pulsed light devices also use the principle of thermal destruction, that is the photothermolysis, similar to lasers, to target the melanin in the hair follicle. However, here a range of wavelength is used, typically between 500 to 1200 nanometer instead of one wavelength. Electrolysis, also termed electrology, involves the insertion of a small fine needle into the hair follicle followed by the firing of a pulse of electric current that damage and eventually destroy the hair follicle. As a result, hair break off at the root and can then be easily pulled off with fine tweezers. It is effective especially in small areas. Students, next learning objective is required qualities and characteristics for the hair removal product. First one is it should be good lubricant properties for skin protection against razor. Next, hydrating properties to soften the skin and hair, then well tolerated, non-irritating with the pleasant odor, and easy application with tendency to spread easily. Easy removal from the razor and skin. Creaminess is also one of the important qualities. Relatively, it should be pain free. Pre-treatment products make hair removal easier and remove oil and sweat from the skin. After treatment products hydrate and cool the skin, alleviate pain and redness and prevent infections. Long term stability with proper texture, it is the one of the important qualities of this products. Foaming product is the type of the hair removal product. It should be appropriate foam structure, foam density, foam viscosity and foam stability. No leakage from aerosols can. It should have appropriate pH. Dermatological safety is the one of the very important characteristics of the hair removal product. Students, now we studied about the types of hair removal products with typical ingredient. There are different types of hair removal products such as pre-treatment product, depilators, epilators, sugaring and electrolysis. Students, first type of hair removal product is the pre-treatment product. Pre-treatment products may have various functions depending on the type of hair removal techniques used. They are designed to make hair removal easier and more comfortable and reduce the potential for skin irritation. The aims of pre-treatment can also be achieve moisture reduction on the skin using powder, which can also enhance the effectiveness of the wax. They are more often used for the soft wax. Cleansing product can be used to remove dirt, makeup, sweat and other chemical from the skin. They may include antiseptic and astringent compound such as witch hazel or alcohol to reduce the chance of infections. Pre-wax treatment products, for example oils and lotions, help hard wax to stick only to the hair shaft but not to the skin. It is also helpful if the patient has very dry skin. However, applying too much of such product can prevent the wax from sticking to the hair. Pre-wax products primarily contain emollient and botanical extracts such as soya oil, tea tree oil, grapeseed oil and aloe vera extract, which may have added calming and soothing properties. Similar to oils, overuse of powder can decrease the adhesive power of waxes to the hair. Creams are also available on the market which is intended to the use before waxing. These products contain local anesthetics such as benzocaine, tetracaine and lidocaine, which can reversibly block nerve conduction near the site of administration, thereby producing a temporary loss of sensation in a limited area. Next type of hair removal product is the depilatories. Depilatories has been applied to any preparation designed for the removal of superfluous hair, in particular hair occurring on the face and legs as well as in the axilla, without causing injuries to the skin. There are different types of depilatories such as chemical depilatories and facial depilatories for the African American skin. There are also different types of chemical depilatories such as sulfide, stenite, substituted mercaptans, thioglycolate, other thiocompound and enzymes. Students, we should know about the brief introduction of the chemical depletion. Today, the term depilatory as used to a preparation intended for the chemical breakdown of superfluous hair without injury to the skin. The advantage of such preparation is that they preempt any danger of cutting or abrading the skin in regions such as the underarms, where it is difficult to see the area clearly and even more difficult to guide a razor over a complicated contours. Also, a widespread belief that shaving increases the rate of hair growing or the coarseness of the hair. Although these beliefs are unfounded, in fact, chemical depilatories have an apparent advantage that they discourage the growth of hair if they are applied regularly. There seems to be no scientific explanation for this, but possibly it arises from a gradual removal of keratinous debris from the mouth of the hair follicles, which allows removal of the hair at the deeper level. Sulfide is a such kind of chemical depilatories. The use of sulfide has been known for a very long time. Patent covering the use of barium polysulfide for removing hair are more than 100-year-old. Composition based on the alkali and alkaline earth sulfide are capable of producing rapid depletion, particularly if used together with a suspension of lime. The alkali sulfides such as sodium sulfide were however found to be too drastic in action. Their depilatory action is linked to their hydrolysis and the formation of sulfahydrates and sodium hydroxide. The latter act as a primary irritant and will produce erythema. Even a dilute 2% aqueous solution of sodium sulfide will have a pH of 12. Although it will disintegrate hair within 6 to 7 minutes, it may simultaneously damage the stratum corneum. It is therefore no longer used in market depilatory preparation. Strontium sulfide is the much milder depilatory but must be used at a higher concentration than sodium sulfide to produce an equivalent dehairing action. Strontium is also such kind of chemical depilatories. In the 1930s, considerable attention was devoted to the use of soluble strontium. Several patents describe sodium strontium solution as the depilatories. Despite their acceptable low order, they have been largely abandoned because of their instability forming strontiums in the presence of water. Nevertheless, the recommended stabilizers were not found to be effective and did not produce stable preparations. Enzymes is also used as the chemical depilatories. It is non-irritating and odorless depilatory preparation based on the enzyme keratinase have also been developed. A keratinase isolated from the Streptomyces faraday was found to be capable of digesting keratin. The extremely slow depilatory action interfered with the commercial success of these preparations. Substituted mercaptans is also such kind of chemical depilatories. The majority of depilatories available today are based on substituted mercaptans which are used in the presence of alkaline reacting materials. For example, calcium thioglycolate in conjunction with the calcium hydroxide. The preparation possesses fewer odors than the sulfide type, take longer to act. They are safer on the skin than sulfide and can therefore be used on the face, an area where superfluous hair can cause great distress and where women have a strongly psychological aversion to using a razor. In general, thioglycolate preparations are more attractive than the sulfide types. However, their slowness is attacking the coarse and resistant hair of the underarms has left a market open for sulfide depilatories for this specific purpose. It is often said that depilatories can be used for smoothing the legs, but the amount required to cover the leg make uneconomical for most users. Next type of depilatories is facial depilatories for African American skin. Curly and wiry hair is found on the face of the black male. After shaving, the exposed end of the hairs with sharp point is left, and as the hair regrows, these sharp points can actually turn back onto the penetrate the skin, causing clinical condition called pseudofolliculitis barbae. To overcome these problems, they prefer to use a depilatory that gives a closer shave, and it also provides the softness at hair tip and blunt. That's why it does not puncture and re-enter the skin. Traditional thioglycolate based depilatories take 15 to 20 minutes to remove beard hair, which takes a long time to show their action. Powder depilatory is also a better option, and it is to use a powder depilatory that must be mixed with the water before the use. They provide adequate hair removal in 3 to 7 minutes. Commonly used active ingredient in the United States as powder depilatory is calcium thioglycolate that exhibit low odor and is easily perfumed. Thioglycolate based preparation are non-toxic and stable at use concentration that is between 2.5 and 4%. At common use concentration about 4%, they may produce depilation in 5 to 15 minutes. These again depending on the pH of the preparation. This should not be less than pH 10 and should preferably be about pH 12.5 to produce depletion within a fairly short time and without irritating the skin. Other thiocompounds like thioglycolic acid is the most economic and effective active agent of this type. However, legal limitations on the home use of thioglycolate resulted in the introduction of product in which thiolactic acid, 3-mercaptopropionic acid or thioglycerol replace the thioglycolate. Students, now we discuss third type of hair removal product is epilatories. Epilation has some following because the effect may be slightly longer lasting, since the epilated hair also remove the hair bulbs or the hair papillae. This may create a relatively long pause before the hair start growing in the follicle and reaches the surface of the skin. It is however not painless and can often cause serious skin damage and subsequent infections, and is therefore frowned upon by physicians. There has been no dramatic development of a painless epilatory in the industry. The few and limited developments have been concerned with modifications in the method of application, such as provisions of a flexible backing strip and the provision of a preparation that does not require melting prior to use, but can be applied cold, the preparation being based on the mixing of glucose and zinc oxide or a honey, sugar and citric acid mixture. The use of a rubber solution in which the solvent evaporates and the rubber film is stripped off is covered in a US patent. Waxing is an epilation method that involves applying warm or cold wax onto hair bearing skin and quickly stripping off the hardness, wax and embedded hairs. There are two types of waxes that are widely used to remove unwanted hair: cold or hot soft strip wax and hot hard stripless wax. All these products need some sort of training for proper use. Hot soft wax. Hot soft wax has more of a liquid consistency on the application. As it is applied to the skin in the hot form, it more readily runs to the base of the hair shaft. It is sprayed as a thin film and is removed with a non-woven or muslin strip. It is applied in the same direction as the hair grows and is removed in the opposite direction. Cold strip waxes. Cold strip waxes were similar to hot soft wax. Strips pre-coated with wax or a cool sugar based substances are pressed onto the skin in the direction of the hair growth and pulled off the opposite direction. In hot hard waxing. In hot hard waxing, a thicker layer of heated wax is applied to the skin. The hair becomes embedded in the wax. It cools and hardens. It is usually much thicker and set much faster. Generally, it is recommended for stronger hair on smaller areas. The wax is pulled off quickly by hand, taking the uprooted hair with it. The consistency of wax product varies as to their melting point. The melting point of wax must be greater than the body temperature in order to solidify on the skin. However, its melting point should be low enough to spread over the skin without burning it. In addition, the wax must be sufficiently firm to grip the hair. A proper working temperature for hard wax between the 125 and 140 degree Fahrenheit for application. As none of the simple waxes used, for example, meets these criteria, hair removal waxes are based on rosins, often combined with simple waxes such as beeswax, to modify their melting point and increasing their strength. The main ingredient of waxes are as follows, such as hair binding agent. Hair binding agents provide stickiness and enable the wax to catch the hair follicles. Rosins is the one of the example of hair binding agent. Rosins are hard and translucent component derived from the pine trees, such as wood rosin, gum rosin, dimerized rosin and esters of rosins. Another example is rosinates. These are glyceryl monosterate made of glycerin and rosins. They contribute to the adhesion of waxes such as methyl hydrogenated rosinate, glyceryl hydrogenated rosinate, polyethylene glycol hydrogenated rosinate and triethylene glyceryl rosinate. Skin conditioning and skin protective agent is the one of the ingredient of epilators. Skin conditioning and skin protective agents protect the skin from damage during the waxing process as well as modify the melting point of the rosin and rosinate and make them more flexible. There are few examples of waxes occurred such as beeswax, candela wax and carnauba wax. Oil is also used, such as mineral oil, almond oil, linseed oil, soybean oil and sunflower oil. Natural components are also used. They may have additional benefits such as an anti-inflammatory effect. For example, honey extract, calendula officinalis flower extract and aloe extract. Few other ingredients is also used in the preparation of epilators. It includes preservatives such as phenoxyethanol, benzoates and parabens. Antioxidant is the one of the important ingredient for the preparation of epilators such as the butylated hydroxytoluene and butylated hydroxyanisole. If water is used in the formulation, water soluble thickeners may also be added to provide an optimal texture for the formulation. Furthermore, colorants such as iron oxide, aluminum oxide, titanium dioxide and organic pigments and fragrances can also be incorporated into the formulation. Next type of hair removal product is sugaring. Sugaring is a hair removal method same as to waxing. The sugar mixture is prepared by heating sugar, lemon juice and water to form syrup. Examples for sugar component include corn syrup, honey extract and maltodextrin. The syrup is formed into a ball flattened onto the skin and then quickly stripped away. Same as waxing, the hair is removed entirely from the hair shaft, and sugaring is another choice of waxing for people sensitive to wax. Sugar based hair removal product may be applied with the hand or with a spatula. Neither methods carries the risk of burning the skin since they are used at room temperature. In addition, the original formula without resin do not adhere tightly to the skin. Today, manufacturers sometimes incorporated resins in the formulas, making them similar to wax with the disadvantage of waxes. The main disadvantages of this technique is that sugar and sugar derivative based composition contains substantial amount of water or alcohol or mixture of water and alcohol, which tend to evaporate each time the bottle is opened for product application. This results in the crystallization of sugar or sugar derivative from such composition, which causes a loss of hair removing the power of the product. It also makes it more difficult to open the bottle before use. Students, next type of hair removal methods is electrolysis. The mechanical waxing method mentioned earlier are temporary and not often only fully effective, since the papillae are not always removed and hair soon reappears. The most effective method of hair removal is undoubtedly electrolysis, which entails inserting a needle into the hair follicle and completely destroying the hair root by means of a weak direct current. This method is practiced in beauty salons and by some dermatologists, but is expensive and time consuming, since every hair must be treated individually and even a competent operator can only deal with 25 to 100 hairs per sitting. Students, now we discuss next learning objectives is formulation. Under formulation, first we discuss a general formula and formulation for depilatory cream. Depilatory cream contains coconut alcohol, calcium thioglycolate, calcium hydroxide, sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium silicate, perfume and water. In the preparation of depilatory cream, first heat the water to 70 degrees centigrade, then add sodium lauryl sulfate with stirring and fatty alcohol with the continuous stirring until melted and disappeared. Discontinue heating and cool this formulation, and after cooling, stirring under room temperature, and the calcium hydroxide and perfume is added. Then add the calcium thioglycolate and stir until uniform preparation is formed. Students, and next formulation is semi-fluid depilatories, and this semi-fluid depilatories contain cream base final product. Cream base content water, cetyl alcohol, laureth 23. In final product, the contain water, calcium thioglycolate, calcium hydroxide, strontium hydroxide, perfume and cream base. In this formulation, first we prepare cream base, and it is prepared at 70 degrees Celsius and allowed to cool at the room temperature. Then add calcium thioglycolate to bulk of the water and mix well. Then add the calcium hydroxide slowly with stirring, followed by the strontium hydroxide and any remaining water. Then combine the two part and stir well with the addition of perfume at this point. Student, next formula and formulation for the epilating wax. The content is discussed in the given table. In this formulation, melt the rosin and waxes, mix and add the petrolatum. When the temperature drops to about 60 degrees Celsius, add the perfume and pour the melted mass into suitable molds. When the wax is used, it is melted and painted over the surface to be dehaired. Students, now we discuss next learning objective is effects of hair removal products on the skin and hair. Removing unwanted hair has become a part of many people's everyday life. Vellus hair turns into terminal hair during puberty in the beard area. For example, this is one of the reasons why young men start shaving. In some cultures, the hairless phase is recognized as more hygienic. Sometimes hair removal may be mandatory, such as a tradition when reaching a certain age, or on the contrary, it may be forbidden in other cultures for religious reasons. Very frequent and or inappropriate hair removal can lead to adverse effect and skin reactions. The common side effects of various hair removal techniques are summarized as: very frequent and or inappropriate hair removal can lead to adverse effect and skin reactions. The common side effect of various hair removal techniques are summarized as follows: alcohols found in many pre-treatment products and aftershave preparation have an antibacterial effect and provide a cooling sensation to the skin, but it dry out the skin and lead to burning sensation when used on freshly shaved skin. When using a razor, blades may cut the skin, leading to bleeding. Hair removal may lead to temporary pain, itching and or swelling of the treated areas, skin sensitivity and skin irritation. Certain aftershave formulation contain fragrances which can be irritating and lead to contact allergy. One of the most common complaints in shaving is folliculitis, that is inflammation of the hair follicles. Another frequent problems that may occur after hair removal is the ingrown hair. If the wax is not applied appropriately, or if applied the wrong temperature, or if the skin is not cleaned well, the hair will not be removed. If the wax is too hot, it can cause skin irritation and burn the skin, causing blistering. Chemical depilatories are highly alkaline products that can possibly damage and degrade the dermal proteins, causing skin irritation, excess exfoliation or contact dermatitis if left on the skin for a long period of time than recommended. Retinoids may cause permanent scarring in these patients, therefore they should avoid using electrolysis, chemical depilatories and waxing during acne treatment. Students, now we discuss next learning objective is after depilation or epilation preparation. After depilation, epilation preparations are intended to reduce redness and alleviate pain and burning sensation experienced after hair removal. In addition, they cool and refresh the skin and exert a mild astringent effect. They can also have an antibacterial activity to prevent infections while the skin recovers from the mild trauma caused by hair removal. They usually contain moisturizing ingredient to soothe and hydrate the skin. These products are also used to remove the remaining wax from the skin surface. Preparation to be used after the application of chemical depilatories are generally available in the following dosage form. The most popular type of product have been and continue to be clear solutions, also known as toners, containing about 40 to 50% of ethanol and an appropriate amount of water. Gel are also popular as they have a cooling effect resulting from the high water content. Lotion, also known as balm, and cream also tend to be popular, especially among users with sensitive skin who experience irritation and alcoholic product. Balm are easy to apply and provide a soothing and moisturizing effect. After wax preparation are mainly available as oils and wipes soaked into oily formulation and contain antiseptics and anti-inflammatory ingredients to prevent infection and inflammation of the hair bulbs. After treatment products typically contain the following types of ingredients such as astringent, emollient and humectant and moisturize the skin. Cooling agent and fragrances are also used in these preparations. After wax products used to remove waxes from the skin mainly include oils such as mineral oils, almond oil and hexadecyl stearate. Students, now we discuss about the different packaging of hair removal products. First, plastic tubes and jars. Hot stripless waxes are usually supplied in plastic jars that can be placed in a microwave to heat the products before use. Some manufacturers supply their products in jars that have a holder on one side. It allows one to handle the hot wax without burning. They may also supply wood as spatula to apply the product. Depilatory cream, pre-treatment gel and after treatment gels are packed into soft tubes similar to toothpaste or plastic jars. Some depilatory creams are supplied in plastic containers with pumped head. The package of chemical depilatories usually contains a plastic spatula for the removal of the product and the dissolved hair follicles. Next type of packaging is wax strip. These are cold soft waxes are supplied in a ready to use form, and usually muslin strips are coated with the wax that can be directly applied to the skin. Wax contains with the roll-on head. Hot soft waxes which are removed with a piece of muslin strips are usually supplied in plastic container that have a roll-on head. This package makes their use starting from heating to application to the skin comfortably and easy. Glass and plastic bottles are also used in the packaging of hair removal product. Many pre-treatment products and aftershave formulation are supplied in glass and plastic bottles. Aerosol cans. Aerosol shaving foams are supplied in one compartment can where the formulation and propellant are mixed together. Aerosol shaving gels are filled into bi-compartment can as discussed earlier. Students, now we discuss about the evaluation of hair removal product. First, tensile kinetics method. In this method, stress decay caused by disulfide bond reduction is measured using commercial instruments such as tensile strength tester and optical diameter gauging system and electrobalance. The time required to reduce the stress supported by the hair by 95% was shown to correlate to in vivo hair removal rate in commercial product. Next, HPLC method. This method can distinguish between the thioglycerol, thiolactic acid and thioglycolic acid. The SH group is coupled to chloro-4-nitro-benzo-2-oxo-1,3-diazole, which resulted in a yellow derivative permitted HPLC detection at 464 nanometer. The procedure is most suitable for use with aqueous preparation, include oil in water, creams and lotions. Next, thermomechanical method. In this method, a thermomechanical analyzer is used to measure the time at which a hair bundle under constant stress and immersed in depilatory begins to stretch. The analyzer is programmed to observe the stretching and or breaking of a hair fiber bundle attached to fiber tension probe necessary. The test is carried out under isothermal condition and indicates good precision, which can be correlated with results on animals. Next evaluation is pH determination. The pH of formulated product is determined using pH meter. A limited value of maximum permitted pH is 12.7. Next evaluation is depilatory effect. Along with above evaluation technique, these two methods of evaluation of depilatory efficacy also available on described by Yablonski and Williams, and the second one is by Elliott. According to Yablonski and Williams, determining the efficacy of depilatories, it involves the measurement of the cross sectional diameter and the length of a hair immersed in a solution of a depilatory and observing the time of maximum hair swelling. Sigmoidal curve are obtained when both the length and the width of the swelling hair are plotted against time. The slope maximum of this sigmoidal curve may be used to define the index of depilatory effectiveness in vitro. Elliott designed a depilatometer to stimulate practical use conditions as closely as possible. In use tests gave good correlation and rapid screening of formulation variables is possible using this technique. His depilation time represents the time to break off 10 fibers exposed to the depilatory at a load of 50 gram. No adjustment were made for the Mercaptide dissociation constant or for its molarity. He found considerable variation in depilating time between individual, but in general legs hair is easier to remove than auxiliary hair, which is similar to head hair. Some of Elliott's data summarized in table. Students, there are various marketed preparation of hair removal brands are available in India as well as in world. First, wheat hair removal creams, V-John hair removal creams, Fame, Olay smooth finish facial hair removal. Students, now we conclude our topic. Hair removal products are primarily used by women to enhance their attractiveness and femininity. There are different methods for removing of hair such as depilatory technique, epilatory techniques and permanent hair removals. There are various types of hair removal products available in the market such as pre-treatment products like cleansing product, pre-wax treatment products, etc. Depilatories like chemical depilatories, facial depilatories for African American skin, epilatories like waxes, sugaring and electrolysis. Sulfide, stenite, substitute, mercaptans, thioglycolate and enzymes are name of popular chemical depilatories. Very frequent and or inappropriate hair removal can lead to adverse effect and skin reactions such as dryness of skin, pain, itching and or swelling, etc. After depilation, epilation preparation are also available to reduce redness and alleviate pain and burning sensation experienced after hair removal. Also, they cool and refresh the skin and exert a mild astringent effects. Most commonly used packaging material for hair removal products are plastic tubes and jars, wax strips, wax containers with roll-on head, glass and plastic bottles and aerosol cans. In order to maintain uniform standards for our product, the following evaluation tests are conducted such as tensile kinetic method, HPLC method, thermomechanical method, pH determination and evaluation of depilatory efficacy, etc. Thank you.